I just don't know what's going on. So
Okay, interesting.
I was on vacation with my son. And so I'm just.
Where we go?
We went to. I was gonna go on audition for a Nashville show. I'm a singer, and so I had my guitar and piano with me, and I chickened out when we got there. I got really chicken.
Where did you go?
We went to Nashville, and then we went to Memphis, and then we were gonna go to Aspen. I had some friends that were in Aspen, and it's such a long drive from Tennessee. I was like, I got almost there. It was like 560 miles. I was like, got to Kansas. I was like, oh my God, it's too far.
It's a long way.
Right. And then I was having trouble with the motorhome. And
so you're in a motorhome?
Yeah, I was in a big, huge white Winnebago, Gulfstream.
Gulfstream, those are hard to drive too.
In the wind, it was terrible. It was like all over the road. And I had the bikes with me and the puppy, and he was trying to jump on me. But there was like play in the steering wheel. And so I was a little concerned with the wind, but there was more. So I had pulled over, and then they came with guns and everything, got me out of the motorhome, scared me half to death. The Kansas police, yeah.
You say you're going to Aspen?
Yeah, we went from Tennessee up to 55 to 70, which is straight down the freeway. Nashville.
Did you actually try fishing?
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad I did, because when we got to Memphis, we went to Liberty Land, and they had a little recording studio, and I went in there to record a song that I used to do on stage, and I lost my voice. So I was kind of glad I did.
It wasn't a good day.
Well, no, I just didn't want it how Simon does everybody. This is kind of like the country and western side of it. And that's what I did, was gospel and country and western stuff. Anyway.
I see where.
Yeah, I got.
Sorry.
These are so tight. They're every time I walk.
Unfortunately, that's
they're
the feds, the U.S. Marshals.
I know they're up against your ankle. If you lift them up like that, they get tighter, obviously, because you like.
I know, but it hurts my ankle.
I would like to remove them, but that's
I know.
The U.S. Marshals.
And I'm sorry, there's just nothing. I'd take them off.
We asked.
We
said we could.
Where'd you go to?
I was in San Antonio. We were at Texas Ski Ranch and Slaughterbound.
Yeah. What was it?
I was there for like a week. I was there in San Antonio for like a week. From the 17th to the 10. Yeah, American Dream Vacations. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was a luxury bus.
Just out of curiosity, and this has nothing to do with it.
It was a lot. It was a lot. $360 a day.
Ooh.
But it's worth it though, because everybody's so nice in RV campgrounds, and there's families there. Like in Nashville, we stayed at Jellystone, which was Yogi Bear's deal, and so they had a bunch of kids and. We went to Austin, and I went to Smithville, because I have a check that Fast Drop, the dealership, is supposed to pay me. My bank I paid them cash for a Suburban, and they in 2000, and then the bank paid them also. So we're kind of waiting for that.
So
they owe me like $40,000, a lot of money. And so I went to Smithville and visited my friend Dr. Joe, and he went to Houston with me to get some more of my things. I'd forgotten my guitar and some other stuff that I needed, like the amplifier and some other stuff.
Dr. Joe.
He's an endocrinologist. He's a good friend of mine, Dr. Joe Giuliano. And he's on dialysis. He's I know, lost his eyesight to diabetes, but he's a good friend of mine. And so we spent the day with Dr. Joe, went to Houston, and took him to lunch. And then we went to Texas Ski Ranch. My son took skateboarding lessons. And then I went to Austin, because I have a home that I sold to my ex. And he gave me $100,000 equity on it. And I tried to get all the paperwork switched into his name because he's a co-signer on that house too. And he wanted to keep the house. And he was worshiping the devil and told my mother that that Lucifer was going to come into my son and become the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And he was smoking crack. See, I called the police on him and asked him many times because of his behavior. Okay. And he was doing drugs. And I was with him for 13 years. And he scared me so bad with his devil worshiping that I left him a year ago. And I called my mom and said, listen, I found the stuff in the refrigerator that he's eating, and it's not
So
tofu.
you went to the house. Oh, that was
This is way back.
When was this? About what year?
This was 2003. 2003, yeah. So anyway, I've been trying to sell this house for a long time. I had it on the market, and supposedly I didn't get any offers on it. And so I went to Austin to try to get the paperwork switched into his name. And I wanted to buy another house, and I needed all my tax returns. So I rented a car from a friend of mine, American Car Rental. And I went to my CPA's office, and he wasn't there. I called him 100 times and left messages for him. Mike Hogan is his name. And you can, Mike Hogan. He's on Bee Caves Road. And then I went by my friend Jeffrey Dochin's office because he had left me a message that day that he was back in town, and he was going to list my house or help me switch the paperwork.
He's a realtor?
He's a realtor, and he's a friend of mine, okay? And he knows both my ex and I. And then I drove by my house, and I didn't see any lights on or anything. And I don't have a key to the house anymore, so I left. And then I went to tan. I went to the tanning salon, and I tanned. And then I went back to my friend's house. I was gone maybe an hour in the rental car. And then I went back to Round Rock, and then I left.
Round Rock being your friend's house?
Yeah, my friend was watching my son while I ran those errands. Her name is Duanna Barter, and and her husband Tony, and because he was home with the kids, she's working and he's staying.
So how'd you get to the rental place?
He drove me. He drove me up there. Yeah, I parked the motorhome in front of their house, and then he drove me up there, and so I just basic. I think it was a Ford Taurus.
And it was
American. Yeah. It's not like friend of mine. Yeah. Well, Tony had to run one of his ladies. What is this about?
I'm sorry, were y'all married?
We were never married. No.
Okay, you never married.
Never married.
Did y'all live together for about 30 years?
No, we only lived together for that 1 year. Well, years ago, we lived together in a high rise, and he tried to strangle me in the high rise, and I called the police, and I kicked him out.
Where was that?
In Houston at the Park Lane. 1700 Park Lane. And then
what did you need him?
I rented it from Mel Powers. Mel Powers was the owner of the.
Where do you live now?
I live in Houston in a high rise.
In the same high rise?
No, a brand new high rise.
Where do you live now?
It's 3333 Allen Parkway, number 2605. Yeah, I've been in hiding from my ex-husband because he actually got I was living in an apartment, 99 North Post Oak, and he came over there and harassed all the guards so often that they called a trespassing case against him. Yeah, so I'm terrified of this man. Terrified of him. Yeah, I don't go near him. I don't answer his phone calls.
Did you file a police report on that?
Well, my attorney, John Green, knows all of this, and I have a ton of evidence on this man that he's involved. I have bloody tennis shoes of his, bloody shirts of his.
For what? Beating on you?
No, things I found in the house before I left. Okay, because my mother tried to say that I was crazy and that she sent me back to his custody after she sent me to a mental hospital saying that I was crazy.
Mother did?
Yeah, my mother did. And she was supposed to protect me. And the hospital records from Russ said she was supposed to send me home to her. Okay. And they let me out. They let me out. They said, "You're not crazy. What happened?" And I said, "Well, I had this bag of food in the refrigerator. I'm a vegetarian. And it had blood in it." And he laid upstairs one night and moaned and screamed and groaned. And then I found that he had male escorts. He's homosexual. He's a homosexual. Okay. And then he called children toy shit kids one day. And I said, "What did you say?" He goes, "Toy shit kids." I'm talking about Bush. And then he starts going off on this Bush thing. And then he tells me that Bush owns the property behind us and all this weird stuff. And then one day my son and I were going to, and you need to talk to my son about these allegations too, okay? Because this is very true. And there's a guy in my neighborhood that can confirm some other stuff about this house that he's been living in and people around it and a cave.
Now, which house are we talking about?
We're talking about the Mission Oaks house that I still own. Because I read the thing about a homicide, and it said it took place at the Mission Oaks house. I thought maybe Jimmy killed somebody there. The U.S. Marshals had a document saying that there was a homicide at my 5,000 Mission Oaks house, that I'm the listed owner. And I thought he killed somebody. Did he kill somebody? Did you find a body there? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, we did find a body.
Jimmy.
Jimmy was it like?
Jost. Yeah. Did you find a kid there?
No.
What do you think?
Because one day my son and I were going to Mulligan's, and something inside me said, "Turn around." So I turned the car around, and we saw these people on the side of the street, this man and this woman in a Ford F-150 truck, and a little boy on the side of the road in his Barney pull-up. And they were talking to him like they were going to leave him there. Okay. And Jimmy knew I was going to be gone for hours. Okay. And I sat there in the median on Southwest Parkway, just watching them. And they saw my Suburban, and they got scared, and they got him back in the car, and they made the U-turn at Mission Oaks, and they looked at my house and sped off. Okay. So then he called children toy shit kids. Then his friend Rick Kuttner was living in that house. He's from Colorado. He's since moved, but my son's gymnastics coach knows how to get in touch with him. If you can question him, you need to. Rick Kuttner. Okay. So Patty Swinson owns. Yes, my son. I put it. He 5th in the nation at Junior Olympics, and I mean,
I heard something about that, but I don't really know.
Yeah, he's an outstanding boy. Yeah, and I'm a very good mother. Very protective of him, So when all this devil worshiping stuff started coming out, I got away from him. I wanted nothing to do with him. He scares the crap out of me. It's been. I saw him at a hotel in Houston. I ran into him in Houston, and it's been 3 or 4 months ago. Yeah, and every time I see him, he looks different. It's really bizarre. He looks different. And then he had bought some clothes for me a year ago, and I had a credit, and my friend Denise said that she saw him, that he had been in Europe, somehow in Europe, with some people. I don't know with who. But one time his face was real full, and another time his face was real little and skinny. And I started going back in pictures of him.
He was kind of gaining, losing weight.
Yeah, I think he has AIDS.
Because of his appearance or something.
Well, because of his homosexual activity. Wait, well, let me finish about this little boy. Let me finish about this, because this bothers me. Okay, so my friend Rick and I, Rick says when he came back to my house from Colorado, because I was gone, okay, and he came to the house and he said it was destroyed, that there was stuff everywhere, and that Jimmy looked like he had lost his mind, okay, completely lost his mind. And then I went out to the trash, and there was these pieces of candy. First, there was a piece of candy in the bedroom, and it was freshly chewed gum, like a little kid's gum, like bubble gum, like something my son would chew. My son had been gone with my mother for months. Okay, last year. Okay,
Late last year.
It was maybe it was around January, February when I was back earlier. Yeah, early last year, because I left him in September of 2000. Yeah. Yeah, September 2003 is when I left him. Okay, and so I found this piece of candy, so I kept it, and then I went to the trash can, and there was another piece of candy, a lollipop, and I have this evidence. Okay, and I went into the bathroom, and there was a candle that had been burning in the bathtub, and it had like a piece of an ear on it. It was really strange. So I took a nail file and I stuck it under there and I popped it in and I put it in plastic and I took it to a DNA place. So they had my DNA, my son's DNA, Jimmy's DNA, and then this evidence.
What DNA place?
Identigene in Houston. Okay, because I was convinced he's involved in murders. Convinced Jimmy is involved in murders. And she said, okay, well, here's the deal. Here's the DNA from the candy, 2 different DNAs of a male. And then the candle wax had a male and female DNA in it. And it's not yours and it's not Jimmy's. Burning on a candle. Okay. So then my told Patty, I said, look around this house. And if you see something weird, let me know. Well, in the backyard, when I was there was these things that popped up out of the ground, like body-looking molds, up out of the ground. And since he's landscaped backyard. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. They think I'm nuts. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I sure did. There's a police report on it, too. Okay. And and Rick Kuttner was saying, Ron, I just don't think any of this is going on. I think you're crazy. And I said, I'm not. This is going on. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove there's something going on.
Was Rick living there when all this was going on?
No. Rick moved in middle of the year. I'm not sure when he moved in. He was a friend of Jimmy's. Okay. Right. Well, then he moved out because Jimmy's so crazy, so weird. And Patty, it was dating him and said, oh, yeah, Rick knows. Rick knows you're not crazy now, Rhonda. He knows. See, he knows something. I don't know what he knows, but he knows something about Jimmy. Well, then this other friend and this other guy is so weird how kind of God puts people together. But Patty has a friend in the neighborhood in Travis Country, okay, named Rick. And she told him the story about the house, that I was concerned about the devil worshiping and all the weird stuff that he was trying to get me to believe that Satan was going to come in. He was sugarcoating it, saying Satan's going to come in, Lucifer's going to come into your son, become the Holy Spirit. He's trying to bring evil spirits into the house and burn candles and all this weird stuff. And I'm a Christian.
Hurt your child.
Yeah, I hurt my child and get him possessed by the devil.
What did you feel like you needed to do?
I ran to my mother and she said I was crazy and sent me back to him. And he pulled a sword on me.
How did she send you back?
Because she was supposed to take care of me. I was supposed to be in her custody, according to the state hospital. She was supposed to take me into her home. She put me in a hotel with no money and nothing, and I had to go back to my house. I had nowhere to go.
You were trying to get help.
I was trying to get away from him.
Instead of getting help, they made it worse. And put you in the state hospital and then sent you back. Yeah. And he pulled a sword out.
Oh, yeah. What happened there? I said, Jimmy, I don't understand. This is like you're living a double life. I find you with homosexuals and now you're worshiping the devil, and we were going to church.
What church?
Gateway. Great church in Austin. I don't know if you've ever.
I've heard of it.
It's a really good church. It's real casual, come as you are,
right.
Kind of rock and roll. My son loves it. As a matter of fact, I was at church. I drove from San Marcos all the way to Gateway Sunday to church and all the way back.
Really?
Yeah, that's the kind of Christian I am. That I love the Lord that much. And I've been so worried about Jimmy and what he's been up to.
He sounds like a dangerous person.
He's very dangerous. He has assault charges on him against me. Yeah. He went to jail for that. That's in the records. Mm-hmm. And he pulled a knife on me and made me go and tell them that it was my fault. And made me take my testimony back. Okay. I'm scared of him. I'm scared of him. Okay, so then listen. I gotta finish telling you about this friend of Patty's, okay? I told her about the little kids. I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I told her I've been dying to tell somebody what I have and show them the evidence that I have in Houston. Okay, in Houston. And listen, I've been to labs trying to get it tested. the things that I found. I have been to the police in Houston. They told me that with stuff like that, there's nothing they can do. I have to go to Austin. Well, I've already tried to give it to Austin, but Austin would do nothing about it.
So you never got to speak to detectives?
I never
like
got to. No, never. And I've been praying for God to help me because I know so much. Okay. Okay, good. I know so much. So anyway, the house is really bizarre. All the paperwork that goes with this house is erroneous. Okay. This is the house on Mission Oaks, right? And it is built on what's called Cave X. Okay. But the survey company lied about it and said it's on lowland. But I had a plumbing problem. And the plumber said, this is a really crummy house. And I said, well, I've always thought that, but what do I do? And he said, you need an inspector. So I had it inspected. And the inspector was terrified when he left. And he wouldn't say all the stuff he found. And he was like, hush, hush about everything.
Just ready to get out.
Yeah, ready to get out of there. And like there's a bow in the wall. Well, I started crawling around with flashlights and taking pictures of everything. And I found this picture, and I have it in Houston. Okay, I really want y'all's help. Okay, I want y'all to see all this.
Where is it?
It's in my high rise. Okay, I'll give you permission. You can't go unless I give you permission. I'll give you written permission with my driver's license, so you can go and get it. Okay, it's in a bag, and gnats crawl around it all the time. I got gnats in my house for bananas in the refrigerator, and they found their way to this closet, to this bag. Okay, there's a shaver that he shaved up red stuff. I don't know. I think it smells like blood in carpet. There's two shoes. There's a black shoe and a white tennis shoe that has blood all over it. There is a jean shirt that has blood all over it. There's the candy, the candle wax. God told me to take the plumbing apart, and I took the plumbing in the bathroom apart, and he had poured all kinds of crap down in there. Now, in the beginning, we were writing a book for God about water, how important it is to have clean water. Now, I found that this plumbing failed, the mechanical failed, and the framing failed in this house. And the city gave Morrison Homes permission to do it anyway. Now, are y'all Christians at all?
Yes.
Okay. In the Bible, it says in Isaiah, and God always told me about the book of Isaiah. Every time I would open my Bible, it would be Isaiah. Well, Isaiah 54, about strengthen your stakes and don't be afraid. You will not suffer shame or be humiliated. But Isaiah 129 says, you will be ashamed of the sacred oaks in which you have protected. The bank that financed the house is on Briar Oaks in Post Oak Park. The house is on Mission Oaks. The bank is called Heritage Bank. And it's now Prosperity. Okay. Jimmy taught me this code. Okay. He was all high all the time, and I was paying attention because I was seeing miracles from God. Like, listen, this is important for you to know what is going on. He's the ringleader of all this, Rhonda. He's the one. Jimmy, yes. God kept telling me, he's the one, he's the one, he's the one. And it talks about men will flee into caves from fear of the dread of the Lord. You sacrifice children in overhanging crags, and your hands are full of blood. And I mean, if you read Isaiah, if you're Christians and you read the book of Isaiah, you'll know that this house. And so let's go to Rick. Let's go back to him. There's so much to tell. I've been through so much with this whole thing. Patty had told Rick one day, and Rick is best friends with Dr. Joe. They all know each other, and I know all of them. That's how God works in people's lives. Because I kept praying for God to help me find somebody who knows something else about these murders, because I know they're going on. I've held on to this information. I'm so scared of them. There's a group of devil worshippers, and I'm just a lonely girl who people think I'm crazy. No one's going to believe me. But I've been saving all this evidence against him. Okay, I've been so scared and so scared of him, but yet I wanted my house back too. I've had to spend so much money to try to stay away from him and my mother. I spent $9,000 at this apartment. Plus, I had to buy new furniture because he has all my stuff. You can give me anything.
I understand you started your own business.
I still do. Mm-hmm. It's called Insurance Resource Group. And I recruit for insurance companies.
For personnel?
Executive level people for what's called corporate-owned life insurance. And then I also have a ministry. And I help women and children and men that are hungry and homeless.
This is at Industrial Green, or is that where you used to live?
I used to live there.
And I saw that address in your driver's license.
And so listen, this code that he taught me, 9 is J. Okay, and he's JJ. On my driver's license, it says 99. Okay, and so I don't know. His brother called me on the highway in Kansas, and I got so scared. How'd they find me? His brother, Kelly Jost. Okay, nothing. He just left a message. He said he was looking for Rhonda Rao's mother, which is Jimmy's old girlfriend. Okay, but anyway, back to Patty and Rick. They're driving along. And they're going down Southwest Parkway, and the lights were out at my house. And Patty said, "See that house there? My friend, this great lady I know, mother of the best kid in the world, because I do have the best son." And she said, she thinks that he's murdering children in those caves, because that house is built on cave X, and they lied about it. And see, on Friday and Saturday nights, these homosexual men line up down Mission Oaks, and they crawl through those gates. There's an entrance there. I've been to I have it all. I have built my case against these people. I have it all.
You're talking about the entrance gates there?
I'm talking about,
You can show it.
I can tell you everything. Okay. And so Rick said, "Patty, listen, I got to talk to you. I have been so concerned myself about what's going on. That house is evil. And I see people coming in and out of there all the time. Homosexual men." And he said, "I found a little girl's shoe on top of the snow when it snowed in Austin. Remember when it snowed?" Yeah. And he was walking along the Greenbelt, and he found this little girl's a sandal, not even a warm shoe, a sandal. And it had no snow on it. Like it was just dropped. And so he put it in a plastic bag, and he couldn't put it in his house. And
what did he do?
Well, he still has it. You can question him. I want you to. I'm begging you to. He doesn't know what to do with it either, because he's concerned that what's he going to do with the shoe? Go to the police and there's a shoe. You know, we have all been very concerned about what's going on. Okay, now you can ask my son about the little boy that she saw. Another day, Jimmy was home with us, and this is when all this first started. Okay, this devil crap, you know, and he wouldn't let me leave. I called my father to come and pick me up, and my dad said, "You're crazy. You're crazy, Rhonda. You've lost your mind." Because Jimmy, you know, the Bible says the devil masquerades himself as an angel of light. Well, that's what he would, put out there for everybody, but behind closed doors, I was terrified of him.
So he would make everyone see that he was this great person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then when I found the homosexual thing, I had to get out of there. I mean, I was scared I was going to get AIDS and who knows what, But when he said toy shit kids, and I saw that little boy on the side of the road, and I put the cave thing together, and in Isaiah it talks about the caves and murdering children and overhanging graves, and Texas Film Code was number 69, and I have it all. I have built my case against these people, but I have had no voice. So Rick brings these spiritual people from Houston, these 3 friends, and they're all Christians. His mother is a minister in the Church of Christian Science, which I have been studying that, and I think this woman is fantastic, And I spent a lot of time with him on the phone, and I sent him the maps to the caves, okay? And the Edwardsographer people said, they're lying, Rhonda. That house is on Cave X. It's a big cave, okay? There's a entrance on Regent's school property, and there is constantly cars over there. And the house itself is built on state parkland, my Mission Oaks house. It has no permits to be built on parkland. George W. Wimpy is the builder, Morrison Homes of Texas, but they're actually based out of Atlanta. And then the documents say Travis, Texas, not Travis County, Austin, Texas, which is what they're supposed to say, and it has 99999 at the bottom of it. Well, when I call information for Travis, Texas, it's a 254 area code, which is Bush. And I prayed about it. I said, God, how am I going to prove that these people are into bondage and child pornography and this crap? He said, I'll put it in the news. Promised me. And what he did showed that the military is doing that kind of treatment to people. And if you look at the money on a new $20 bill, it says, Satan, you nasty nut in Austin. Seriously. Now, I want you to know something.
Is it like a subliminal message?
Yes. You have to be looking at it. But, what it is, it's kind of jumbled. It's a code. It's a jumbled word. Satan, you nasty nut in Austin. Okay. You see what I mean? Yeah. And then if you look at the money, you'll see that little green face on the side, on the right hand side. It's got a thing across its face like this, and then an eye. It's like a bondage mask. Yeah, and then I found out that Jimmy's been involved with the Cullens and the Bushes for a long time because they grew up together in Memorial. Okay, and in Isaiah it says that your watchmen are sleepy. They see nothing. They're blind. They get their fill of fear. And on that property behind my house, there's a gate. Like there's an entrance to the aquifer there too, and it's 10 acres. And they have a watchtower over there. And in Revelation, it talks about the 7 golden lampstands. Mm-hmm. From my office window, if you're looking out there at night, there's 7 golden lights out there. Mm-hmm. And they move and they shine down into the woods to watch that aquifer entrance.
How long have you lived?
I've owned the house since 2000. And I moved to California with Jimmy.
Was things fine when you first moved in that house?
I lived there by myself.
So it's fine.
It's fine, but I didn't live there very long. I moved to He convinced me to move to California and sell it.
Is that where he was living?
Well, no, we bought a house together, and then he changed the documents on the house. I signed the closing papers, and then I found all his information where he sold the house out from under me and didn't give me any of the money. It was my house too.
Ron, you sound like you've had a nightmare.
I've been through a nightmare, complete nightmare, and
no one helping you.
No one.
Every time you've gone for help,
mm-hmm. No one has listened to me.
Push you off and say go.
Yeah, and then in the meantime, innocent people are being killed.
Homosexual activity, and you finding all these odd things in the house. Mm-hmm. You don't understand. How do you protect yourself from something? I got into this high rise with. Does he know where you live?
Evidently, because he sent me some child support. I mean, he has a lot of connections. I don't know how far up he's connected. I mean, if his brother can find my cell phone number, because I got a Verizon wireless number with a different name. I used my middle name so that they couldn't find me. Okay. And his brother called me. So they must have connections with the FCC somehow. I don't know how, because I've never called Jimmy. I've never called him. I don't let him have anything to do with my son.
Are you afraid for your son as well?
Very afraid for him.
What do you think was going to happen to your son?
That he would kidnap him.